hours. And if it's taken so long to get this weekly one-shot out, hopefully that kind of tells you how annoying this is. So yes, I did go ahead and play it already. I'm not going to show this one the blind playthrough of it because it took hours. Instead, I'll show you a shortcut you can do to simplify this significantly. So I have to give two warnings for this, first and foremost. The fight itself is unstable, it's prone to freezes, crashes, and so on. Supposedly that's due to one of the updates they made, which hopefully is resolved. And then the second thing is, be careful with how you finish Spite off, because due to the way this works, it's kind of tricky. So let me give you an example. Say you finish him off using Scherzo, the first shot of Scherzo. That causes a lot of freezes because the game wants to do the second shot of it, but it also wants to switch over to Skinwalker Gloomweaver and then reset things. And that has caused some crashing. So just be careful with your order of doing things, because it's a mess. But otherwise, it's fairly interesting because we'll talk about that when we get in. Attend! I shall set the tempo for this conflict. Move to my beat and there will be victory. Fail to do so and you will dance macabre. Overall, kind of lame, I have to say. If you don't know the Dark Conductor story, this is the digital edition of Kavath of the Six Strings. I don't know Kavath exactly, but some sort of relic turned the will turn the Argent Adept dark over time or something or another. I kind of like the fan theory a little bit more, that this was actually the Carbon Adept gaining sentience and slowly moving towards being a hero. The power definitely is more like Carbon Adept-like. Basically, instead of destroying two ongoings, you will take two cards and only destroy one of them. That looks more like the transition into a hero rather than this kind of lame thing. But anyway, Challenge Spite Weaver is the marathon game, as I refer to it, where you have to fight Spite, and then you will fight Skinwalker Gloomweaver afterwards. Hence why this took 2.5 hours when I did it the first time. So, depending on how you let him set up in the environment fall, you can either deal very little damage over a long period of time, which we're going to avoid doing, or you can kind of speed through this a bit with some tricks. But anyway, you can read everything there. You need 5 victims in the safe house in order for him to flip. If not, then he will turn a face-down card, a drug specifically, face up into play. Now, should you be able to get more victims than face-up drug cards, you will actually start turning those drugs face down. So that's kind of interesting, but only a few heroes actually have the ability to do that. I'm trying to think of some of them. Well, the main ones are, of course, Super Scientific Tachyon. The second best one would be, of course, the Dark Conductor here. But I think there are a couple others who can play cards from his deck, like Omnitron and so on. You just have to set it up so that those are actually the top cards. And then you can actually control his drugs, and you can find him on his side here, and he's not as bad. He aims for the highest here. On his flip, he aims for the lowest. He does a little bit less damage, though, so you do have that. The one thing you do have to watch out for here is he does melee here, but Infernal here. If you have Demon Kiss active, that's just more Infernal damage. If you want to do something like with Legacy Next Evolution, you can block a little bit better. Anyway, for the Dark Conductor, we went over his ability. Reveal the top 2 cards, one goes into play, one goes into trash, and everyone else here you should have seen before if you've been following the channel. If not, the only one that you may have to go out of your way for is Santa Guys, who will put cards face down and then flip one player's face up. So he will play his drugs, he will reveal the safe house, he'll play a victim, he will kill the victim. And in case you want to know what these are, since I did this already, I actually have the list right here. This is his card where he will deal toxic damage and discard 5 cards from your deck when you use the power. This is Demon Kiss, 1 infernal damage across the board. This is Mind Fire, destroy all environment targets and then destroy all environment cards. Then deal psychic damage equal to number of destroyed cards plus 1. Or at least I think it's plus 1, I'm not entirely sure. This one is his drug that forces you to pick up cards, and then this is his damage reduction. I recommend starting off with a Demon Kiss. So on the prowl, we'll destroy the Lost Child, but it'll bring out a Samaritan, I think? It's Bystander. So remember, he is the nemesis of Wraith, so they'll be dealing a little bit more damage. So right here, you do not want to discard on this turn because you have a Vernal Sonata. You want to discard with him on the next turn. So for the meantime, we want to play stuff that we can pick up later. As such, I will be playing the Rhapsody of Vigor. So with that pipe organ thing aside, we will activate Spite and Wraith. So forced entry will kill whoever's in the safe house. We want to discard that. We're going to put Stun Bolt into play. So that gets trashed, and we're more likely to have a victim come out now. So for her, we do want to discard all three. Mistbound, Oblivion, Planar. Then we'll play Master of Magic due to 1, not have anything else, and 2, it's something to pick up later. Then we will damage ourselves because we need to be the lowest HP. So right here we want to use Throat Jab so we don't have to worry about his damage at all. Then we're going to Stun Bolt him for a little bit more, but he'll heal when he kills a victim. So the first part of the combo between Visionary and the environment is you need to play Twist the Ether. Put this on Spite, and then we're going to use the Turmoil on Spite so we can manipulate this. We'll get rid of one of the Labrates, put it on the bottom, and then Guy's had a gimmicky character when I went over him if you didn't see. So we're going to do that. And then you could play an ongoing card if you want to activate his pickup card, but if not, just skip. I recommend skipping if you can't tell. So, Gift Miss time. Everyone put a card face down, except for Spite. He sucks. Yep, my throat is kind of killing me at the moment, if you can't tell from my voice. So there's Infecting an Air. To explain what this does, since Quarter Blood is fairly new, okay, I think by now people should be learning the cards. Vampire with the highest HP attacks the non-vampire target with the lowest for 2 melee. If it's a character card, they'll attack every non-vampire card and then destroy that. So right here we want to do this one. That's basically just the damage reduction, I believe. One of these increases his damage dealt. Not sure which one that is. So now we want to discard because we're going to use Vernal Sonata. You need to get rid of one of the Sonatas, of course. Then we can play this, everyone other than Guy's heals. Choose for me. I want the bell back because rhythm cards are really, really good. She's fine. She's fine. I'll take that one. And then we can use a gimmicky character. That's very helpful for Santa Guys if it's one of his presents because it gives you an additional card play so you can get something out of your hand out. So now we want to do Spite and the Court of Blood. So we can get rid of Matron Urtzi and put the Samaritan into play. So right here we're going to play the Tome. I don't want her to damage herself anymore because she's not going to be able to heal when the Unhallowed Halls comes out. Plus that's a deck manipulation thing, by the way. So right here we're going to Stun Bolt since we can't hurt him with the Throat Jab. And we can cut into his damage a little bit. Man. So right here is the trick. You want to put the Lost Child in, and then I recommend a Labrate since those aren't as bad here. Put the Lost Child on top. Use Turmoil on Spite. So here you choose what you want to be on the top. You want the Lost Child. He's going to destroy the Lost Child anyway, so just a heads up, don't get attached to it. Poor kid can't catch a break. So right here we're going to do I Can Do That Too, so we can give everyone presents. And then we want to use this power to set up the raid. So out comes Smoke Bombs and Mega Computer. So the top card is the Lost Child, if you remember. Out comes Bathory, which we can destroy later. We'll hit Wraith. Now for the next card to come up, we want the first one. Out comes Collateral Damage to kill the Lost Child. And yeah, we'll hit Visionary. So change this to Radiant, reduce by 1. You can really change this to anything you want at the moment. The type is only going to matter when an Unhallowed Halls comes out. So right here we're still trying to put out more material to pick up later. We will use Dark Dynamics on Spite and Wraith. So we can get an impromptu invention out right now. Okay, we got the Razor Ordnance. The thing that we need more than anything at the moment is the Utility Belt. And we're going to play the Razor Ordnance. So that destroys the Forced Entry. Turn this into Radiant and reduce. Got the Lyra, but I'm still kind of lacking in songs. So we're going to play Astral Premonition, so I have something to pick up. Hopefully you're seeing a theme here, and then the vote. So right here we're going to play Combat Stance, since I don't have anything that can hurt him here. The Grappling Hook is a little tempting so that I could destroy this and then draw a card, but I'm fine. Gonna take a little bit of counterattack damage here. Well, it's not counter, it's... you know what it is. And that's the one part where Combat Stance does come in handy, by the way. So right here we do have to discard 10 cards, but we did get to deal 5 damage. So right here we need to play Mental Divergence, and then we're going to use Mental Divergence to destroy the collateral damage. So right now we're trying to get him to flip fast. So she goes after the guy with the highest HP. So we could retcon her. What I'm thinking is if I use Total Beefcake it'll redirect, but the thing is, only the first part will. So I'm better off just retconning her. Then we will play Beefcake so I have something to pick up, because we're going to be revealing his pickup card next. So on the topic of deck manipulation, I need the amulet. Hence why I went for the tome instead of keep drawing cards. So we got a Gritty Reboot, and there are the Unhallowed Halls. So choose that one, now we have to start picking stuff up. So we can go ahead and grab Beefcake, we can grab the Astral Premonition, and then for Wraith, we want to pick up something of hers, so we'll grab the combat. We'll grab the Razor Ordnance. So, potential sidekick. So convert that into radiant damage, and then the Unhallowed Halls will block. And you can pretty much do that for everything from here. Thing is, if Spite is attacking something for you, by all means switch it back to Infernal, and then get the +1 from Unhallowed Halls. So there's nothing we can do for the sidekick, so we'll play the Lyra. So Spite in the Court, Good Samaritan, and the Angry Mob. Which of these am I going to put into play? So just convert that into Radiant and case closed. So for her, we have a bunch of stuff we can discard. This, this, this. And for her, we are going to skip. And since we now have the medallion in play, we want to start bouncing stuff off. This will not actually hurt Spite. Damn it. But it's going to give us more cards, so we can find stuff that we do need. Guess I could have picked up the smoke bombs. Oh well. Now, since I don't have to worry about his counterattack anymore, since I can just turn it into Radiant, I don't have to double stun bolt him. As such, we can go ahead and use the Razor Ordnance at him for 4 because of the Nemesis bonus. Now, here... So, on the topic of deck manipulation, if you did not grab the Mental Divergence, you're actually fine to do something else. It's just, you want to grab the Mental Divergence to destroy his one thing out here, and then you're going to double skip here so that you can get the Twist the Ether. As for what we do with that, it's going to be a little creative. So you could retcon Bathory if she's still out, but as is, I'm just going to Beefcake. And we're going to put cards face down. So, turn this into Radiant. And that's what I'm going to be doing for the rest of Spite's. Well, even Gloomy Rel still do this too. So choose yes, and then his last drug is sealed away. Out comes Hunter Field Pay. As for when we pick up, one is Beefcake. Keep in mind if you leave Beefcake out, he'll go for the low target one. You could redirect that with Beefcake or with the smoke bombs. Then total Beefcake it back into him, but it's up to you if you want to do that. I just plan on redirecting it the old-fashioned way. So for the Adept, we want to play the Super Tonic. We can go ahead and pick up that other book. And for her, we do have that to play. Actually, we'll grab Master Magic. We can't heal anymore. So right here, just hold down the tab. So if you want to bounce this off him, choose Infernal, increase by 1. We'll discard 2. Now, if you're wondering why this is so much damage, on this side his damage is increased by the number of people in the safe house. Then, since we only get to bounce once per turn, just keep this as Radiant for the rest of it. So for this one, you do want to. You want to get the sidekick out so you get your card draws. I don't have anything extra to play, but it doesn't really matter. If you want to give it to someone else, by all means, you can have them do it. It doesn't really matter, it's just I prefer to do it sooner. So right here we can start giving power plays over to other people. One thing that I was wondering about, I don't want to come back and test this, but I'm wondering if you can actually use the carbon adept to here, or not the carbon, the Dark Conductor here to unlock the Dark Conductor. So all you have to do is a lot of damage, which is possible once you get the shared zone and everything. And from there, you just have to be selfish with everything else you do. So if you use additional power with this, then you want to... Well, let me show you. So the bell... Oh wait, that won't work. Yeah, we'll just do the Dark Dynamics. So, jeez. I'm just hoping you guys can actually understand what I'm saying between these coughing fits. Hey, there's the shared zone. So right here, I'm just gonna double skip. I need cards, basically. Now, in case you're wondering how I beat him the first time around, basically what I ended up doing is I made everyone equal HP, I put out the smoke bombs, I had Nightmist go into mist form, and I just did this very, very slowly. You can do it that way, it's just I don't really recommend doing so. So I didn't actually have a targeting computer there. We can see that we have a grappling hook and a trust fund, one of those here. I don't know if this will actually shuffle my deck, that's the thing. And you know what, screw it, let's see. We'll stop at 2 or we'll keep going. So the throwing knives are handy. So I'm not going to use the eyepiece, and I'm probably not going to suture. And there's part of the reason why I wasn't really that concerned about, hey, I just kind of wasted one of those getting a utility belt that I can't use. So for this Twist the Ether, you want to put it on Nightmist, and hopefully you see what I just did. So in terms of what's left in his deck, you want to keep one civilian out to serve as like a sacrifice to save the sidekick. We don't really have anything else to destroy here, so we will use... Like, the one thing you have to watch out for is forced entry, which is not here. Collateral damage is his very bottom card, I believe. And that will get shuffled when On the Prowl comes out. Let's take a peek. Yeah, that's fine. So basically, well, we wouldn't even get that mental divergence if we didn't pull the one from earlier. So the one thing that kind of sucks here is I don't have a lot of stuff to pick up. So as such, we are going to have the Adept flip his stuff face up. Out comes the Polyphoric Flare. So what we want to do with this one is we want to give the power back to guys. And then we're going to have him drop another present, so Adept actually will unbox 4. The thing is, the rhythm thing will go to waste, so just be aware of that. So we need to get back to our presents. Another Super Tonic that we can pick up. A Sarabond. And an inventive preparation. So if I actually got that inventive out before I flipped the flare, I could have activated the card play here and had someone else play something. Oh well. So out comes Judge Ficco. We're going to pick up Beefcake, the extra super tonic, and I'm going to grab the Scherzo just because I'm never going to use that card. So here are the two cards we get from the potential sidekick. Got another Mega Computer. Out comes the Lost Child. Now, since I want to bounce this, we're going to increase. And just keep in mind, you can always put something in the safe house if you want to boost his damage to make him kill himself faster. You want to keep an Infernal because of the +1 from the Unhallowed Halls. So, let's move the... well, I'm moved around a little bit. I have my hand on the tab key. Normally I'm keeping my hand on the mute button for my microphone just in case I start coughing. So I'll show you another thing we can do with the Lost Child. So first things first, we're going to put this one out so I can at least draw a card too, and we can start using the bell. So, actually... do we want to use the bell? Because I don't actually have a better power play to give to anyone. These guys don't have very good powers, really. So if I were to use the bell... like, that would fill the selfish requirement to a certain degree. Like, I could have guys give more presents. I could unwrap Visionary stuff, because she has 4. So far, I think that's my best bet. And I haven't really been keeping track of Visionary stuff, in case you're wondering. I know she has a decoy projection down there. The best card for her to have is Demoralization, because that'll hit him at the start of your turn, and then you can play a one-shot and hit him for full face value. So Visionary, what you got? Levitation. There's the decoy. And she's cocooned at the moment. So I'm gonna come out of the cocoon, so yeah. As for card plays... oh, I could have done that. Damn. I don't really want to rewind to show you, and I can do that now since this is already done, but... we'll give the card play over to the Wraith. So one thing I want to see with her before I actually do this is make sure you have a computer in here that you can grab. So we're going to use the Impromptu Invention to pull out the micro-targeting computer. And then we get to play another card, which we'll do to play Throwing Knives so we can go after the environment stuff. Yes. Just kidding, that's coming back at you, bro. So yeah, you can use the Lost Child to have him hit himself twice per round. So put out the Elder Ring so you deal more damage. We will investigate, and since we already bounced, we're going to turn our damage into Radiant. And hopefully you can see how this is going to get very, very scary for him. So basically all of Nightmist's backlash damage that you do not want to take, turn to Radiant. It's really that simple. So for here we're going to play the Mega Computer, that way I don't have to worry about anything that comes out of the environment that is not Infernal damage. Infernal still will be a problem, I'm afraid. We're going to use the Throwing Knives to cut through the first layer of his defense. Due to the targeting computer, I actually do reach it. We'll leave Field Pay alone since he's kind of on our side. Then we're going to start using the razor. But part of the reason this took so long the first time was I had to cut him down with stun bolts to make sure that his damage was low enough to where he wouldn't kill everyone until I had everyone equal HP. And here I could because the cocoon would actually absorb it. What I'm going to do here is play Foresight, and we're going to dig for Precognition. Or not Precognition. I was looking at that and I said it. Whatever you choose here is gain discard. What I'm actually looking for is demoralization. And there it is. It's almost like I knew that was coming. So if you had Beefcake out, you could redirect that. It's just I don't. And I don't care. So we will play Gritty Reboot. And everyone take a present. And the plan basically is, in order for Santa guys to really go off, we need to give him a lot of presents. Feast of Flesh. So the computer is shutting down Hunter Fuel Pay. We'll grab that. And for her, I want to play Demoralization. It's just I can give her an additional card play with the Adept. We'll grab the Throwing Knives, we drew the Drum, Instrumental Conjuration, Scouring Mist, Starshield Necklace, Mind Spike, and there's Super Ultra Kawaii. So the one thing that sucks about this is I can't bounce stuff off of him as long as that decoy is there, and only the environment can kill the decoy. So that alone is kind of annoying. It's kind of up to you if you want to leave her stuff face down. Probably would be better. In case you're wondering why he can't kill the decoy, the smoke bombs will protect it, even though that seems kind of counterintuitive. You play that out so it takes hits, not so it hides. Anyway... like right here I'm wondering, do I want to get another instrument out? And at the very least, I'm going to want to play this. So we have the cards. Nightmist, I need you to investigate. So turn hers into light, and then for your redirection turn that into Infernal. So we're going to discard Scouring Mists and the Starshield Necklace. Then use the Inventive Preparation to give the card plate over to Visionary so you can play Demoralization. And we drew the harp. So keep in mind you can take a victim out if you wanted to get the extra card play or something. So we're going to get rid of Planar Banishment and Mist of Time. Should you find yourself getting overwhelmed by him for some reason, by all means use Mistbound to slow him down for a turn. It won't do anything for his damage, but it'll stop him from playing stuff, so that's the line of thinking there. So anyway, we can do Heedless Lash. And then we can hit him. We're going to turn that into Infernal and increase it. Well, we can put this in play. Should be able to Planar Banishment? Is that another one? Can't see. So her self-damage turned into Radiant. And I get to destroy one card, which I'm going to use on Feast of Flesh. We will investigate Radiantly. By the way, if you want to destroy the decoy, you can pick up the smoke bombs. Just be aware of that. Probably should do that next round. So I don't have the throwing knives out. We'll just stun bolt him. Thing is, that does cut into his damage that comes back at him. Actually, it probably doesn't matter. He's going to die soon anyway. So anyway, demoralization will take the first shot. That'll remove his damage reduction. Then you play Mind Spike, and you get to hit him for 3. And hopefully you can see how this will take a long time, depending on how you do it. So the environment is not going to do anything. We could use Mental Diversions, but there's... like, is there even an ongoing I want out? I could get something for the Adept. But if I get something of hers, it's going to get discarded. Nightmist only has a couple ongoings, like Master of Magic, I believe. That actually might be her only one. Oh no, Mistform's ongoing. Oh, I thought that was a spell. Probably said that in videos before, but we'll skip. Nope. And no. No. So let's put out the Gritty Reboot. Everyone take a present. Sadly, most of these presents will never be opened. But keep in mind, if you want to play Oblivion, you can just turn all the damage to your allies into Radiant and they're safe. The only one who has to get hurt is him. And even then it's kind of optional, but there's no reason not to hurt him. He has it coming. He blew up 2 lost children, you all saw it. And the smoke bombs... Best card ever, and Guy's the Barbarian. Okay, now I can play the smoke bombs again. And here's the shot you want to redirect, not that other one. So we're going to get rid of the Astral Premonitions. And for this one, there's no more redirection. Probably should have had him kill Fico for me. No, and no. So right here I'm trying to figure out, do I want to... Right here I'm just looking at what instruments are left. I have the horn and the pipes, neither one of which are particularly good at the moment. I do have the Saraband. Like, the pipes would let me destroy environment stuff, but I can't heal. If I had the Scherzo out, I could maybe scratch him a little bit. But it's not going to really matter unless I had Twist the Ether on the Adept, and then I'd turn it into Infernal, and so on. So, yeah. We'll toss out the harp. So right here we're going to give the power play over to Nightmist. Have her investigate. We will block this. And there's the Oblivion spell. In case you're wondering, I'll use Oblivion on Gloomweaver if he summons a bunch of stuff. So for Wraith, we'll put out the smoke bombs. You know what, we'll do this one. Increase. That. He has 1 hit point left. So... could hit him with Oblivion, but Heedless Lash will do. Mist Form. So this could freeze the game, just be aware, because it may try to put Mist Form out. So if you don't remember the win condition, well, the conditions that unlock Skinwalker Gloomweaver, you have to beat Spite a certain way, in which case Spite's flesh is used to animate him, which is basically what happens in challenge mode. And then you can lose and have certain victims get destroyed, in which case the whole flesh suit comes from the victim thing. Tad morbid, perhaps. Perhaps. So for these guys, they have this coming. So you see he gets a turn immediately, and then we no longer have to worry about our setup getting delayed, destroyed, or so on. So let's put out the shared zone. And how am I doing for cards here? Not that great. Okay, so we will use this. We're going to give the power play over to Nightmist. We're going to have her investigate and draw cards. What? Wait a second. That mist form I just drew, isn't this the one that I used to kill Spite? I need to go back and look at the video. So for Nightmist, we are going to play Oblivion. So for this one, the order matters if you plan to redirect. So to give you an example, I want to deal 4 to everyone. That means Nightmist will take 4, and then I can bounce this off of her into Gloomweaver. Otherwise, I can bounce the 3. So to show you what I mean, we're going to do Mists of Time. I didn't redirect that, and I do have the cards. I can afford to do this. So everyone takes 4. We will go ahead and just choose everyone. So you want to turn this into Infernal for the stuff you want to kill. You get the +1, then the Elder Ring. And then Nemesis bonus for Gloomweaver. He does have the Pouch of Bones to protect him, so Adept, turn this into Light. For her, we're going to bounce this. We'll get rid of Enlightenment and Enlightenment. And hopefully you can see that this does a little bit more damage. For them, we are going to finish them off. They're not helping. That brought out Ophidia, who only does damage based off of the pins. And for Fico, we can leave him be. I don't perceive him as a threat. Fuel pay is on our side. So, goodbye, Ophidia. We'll continue working over this pouch. So this is the 3rd time he's taking damage this turn. You can see he lost 20 hit points already. And that was the Adept's turn, mind you. Now it's Nightmist's. So reveal the top card of your deck. We're going to turn this into Light. I want Nightmist to draw this. So I'm not going to hit him here. I could bounce this off myself. Actually, you know what? We'll do that. So we'll get rid of the Amulet and the Mist Form. It's not a lot, but it's the thought that counts, right? We drew another Oblivion, plus a Heedless Lash. So keep in mind you can use the infrared eyepiece if you want to try to monitor his deck, but he will hurt himself, so you don't want to lower his damage too much, preferably at all. So we're going to continue working over the pouch. Hit him. Stopping there. By the way, you can attack Nightmist and bounce it off of her to him. It's just not worth the 2 cards, I'd say. It's only worth that if she's doing it because she has the Nemesis bonus. So he won't take anything courtesy of the pouch. And I'm going to do Foresight just because I want a power. Aw, man, I thought that'd reveal her deck. Like, it'd cause her to shuffle, but I guess not. Oh well, it doesn't really matter. I legitimately do not have any concerns about anything that comes out of his deck. So right here we are going to use Total Beefcake. The question is, do I want to use Best Card Ever first? I'm going to hold on to that for when I finally cut loose. So everyone, draw a present. So remember, half of these are face down in front of him. Feast of Flesh. Dame Katarina. She's a little dangerous. So for this one, they lose a card. I can blow this up by the time we get to Guys' turn. So for her, she's kind of obnoxious. I'm gonna have to do this. So when a non-villain target gets destroyed, he's gonna play a card. Right here, non-villain target is destroyed. So he could play something. Preferably, I want him to play his Acolytes first, because those are the dangerous cards. We'll go ahead and get this out in case I need to do a combo. So we're going to get rid of Mistbound and Scouring Mists. Got another Call Forth. So we're going to play Heedless Lash, which revealed Planar Banishment. So keep in mind I already bounced this turn, so I can't do this. So we're going to turn this into Radiant and not worry about it. Then we get to hit him for Infernal damage, which is amplified. And we can trim out some of the environment, I guess. Aw, man, it was a pretty big Oblivion spell, too. That is so heartbreaking, man. So we're going to destroy this. Remember, if you do not destroy targets, he doesn't play anything. So that takes care of Fico. Irreducible toxic damage. And that's fine. Katarina's going to keep going after his stuff until we flip him. This works. So first things first, we're going to finish off this pouch. And good night. I was kind of hoping I could actually hit him again since he changed, but I guess not. So anyway, the pins are going to get blown up. Protect the Adept. Protect her since I already bounced. Actually, no, I didn't bounce yet. Damn. Oh well. Not rewinding. Now, does he still have that an effect? Whenever a cultist is destroyed, he plays the top card. So that means Katarina's fair game. So right here we can bounce this. Call forth and miss field recovery. Just kind of hoping for an enlightenment, to be honest. So is there anything here that I can play? Has 6 equipment cards. That means one of her face downs is this inventory barrage. Worst comes to worst, it gives us another play. And remember, you can throat jab him, it's just I don't recommend doing that. Same for hitting him with a stun bolt. He's going to start hurting himself, and you do not want to get in the way of him basically self-destructing. So right here we're going to hit him with a Mind Spike. Then we're just going to draw. Putting this in my hand so I don't have to worry about it. Just kind of hoping to find another Mind Spike, but oh well. So anyway, it's time to cut loose. So the thing is, I can do that too to get another present, or I can put out something in anticipation. And I'm thinking the anticipation is probably better. Just toss out Guise the Barbarian and start swinging at him. Because I have a gimmicky character there which I can use to play. Do I even have Selling Out? No, I don't. So that means there's probably both of them in there. Okay, let me see that. We're going to use that to just wipe the Elder Ring for +1. Gimmicky character. Ooh, Vast Following. So we're going to use this to play Super Ultra Kali. I don't think there's anything anyone has that really matters. Best card ever!
Woo!
And we're going to use this with, you guessed it, the best card ever. So we got Super Ultra Kawi, and look what I found.
Woo!
So oh. Okay, there's still one Selling Out that's somewhere out there. So, I always have the option of just I can do that too and drop another present. But in order to maximize my overall damage, I do need to play Blatant Reference. I'm just looking to see if there's anything else. Actually, I can play Blatant Reference with the Super Ultra Kawaii. So I can do that too. We're gonna drop one more present. I'm really hoping I get Selling Out because I can do a bunch of one-shots on the environment turn. Where did I leave that? Yep, there's a Selling Out somewhere in here. So now keep in mind you have the option to say no and take a best card ever back. I'm going to say no. So we're going to give up Look What I Found to get this. Guise the Barbarian, say cheese.
Revo Cola, experimentally refreshing.
Okay, now we want to play the blatant reference. You could play best card ever if you wanted. We're going to discard this. And pew pew! Unhallowed Halls. So, the one shot we're going to get rid of is Retcon, which will allow me to play this.
Woo!
And now I can play literally anything here with that, but the only things worth playing are one-shots. I could use this to get best card ever again. It's not a big deal. I can always do that with other turns. And this is one of those lockup moments I was talking about, so damn it. So when this happens, you need to go to the main menu. Go to continue game. And we're going to do this a little bit over. So I'm hoping I did this in the correct order.
Woo!
I may have missed something, but hopefully I can at least show you guys how to get around that. That happened a few times when I was trying to do this the first time. So the downside to using I can do that too is none of these guys have base damaging powers. So we're just going to use, say, cheese. So when he hits himself, turn it into Infernal, jack it up. With the other Unhallowed Halls, that's another +1. Remember, Nightmist can redirect. Probably should have held on to Call Forth, but this is ending this turn. Son of a... Okay, I can work with that. So toxic damage I can try to redirect with Total Beefcake. Where's that sidekick when you need him? So what I do here doesn't matter that much. Going to give Nightmist some cards, hoping I get something to play. Like, I don't even want to risk bouncing something off because I'm that pressed for cards. So we're going to play a card with Nightmist. We're going to Call Forth. Ah, man, that's not going to do anything, is it? Anyway, you can see her presence here. So if I had guys flip her stuff, I could Oblivion, but oh well. If it goes that long, we'll do it. Sweet!
Good.
So we're going to discard the Gritty Reboot, because Guys is hard-boiled. Like a detective, not an egg. So right here, none of this matters. But we can bounce stuff off. And this is ending right here. So we'll get rid of the Master of Magic, because Gloomweaver now knows who that is. And check it out, guys. It's the best card ever! So that's how easy this can be if you're able to stop him being spiked from getting his 5th drug. As long as you can protect the environment, you can use Twist the Ether to make your team effectively invulnerable, and then you can abuse that with Nightmist, all that stealth and splash damage that she normally does, completely neutralized. So this is the fast and easy way to do it, and I don't see a timer at the moment to see how fast this was, but you got to see how to overcome the freezing issue, and in case you're wondering, as long as you go to the menu and come back in through continue game, you can still get the mint. The thing is, if you abandon the game or start over, that's when you have problems. And I don't know how it works if the game crashes and you actually have to close the application and reopen it. That one I can't really help you with, I'm afraid. But anyway, that is the marathon. It's not as bad as the ultimate one, which I plan to do one day. I'm still trying to put that off, so you can see. But, let's see. I'm going to try and make a prediction. So this was the core game. So the next one we're probably going to have, I'd say, is a team game, villain team. Those are generally a little bit better than some of the other ones we've had, and overall I'd say this one is a lot better than these three. Overall, that really was more like one of the ones you'd see in Season 1. And the one that it's most similar to that I was talking a little bit about, we can go to real quick, since those of you that are still around are probably the ones that are still interested. I apparently skipped over it. Oh, it's right there. So with this one, you're able to set up his deck with the Wraith and Visionary. You want to put his victims on the bottom. Then you'll have Tachyon pull them out with her experiment, and then you can have Skyscraper pay whatever price it was. And you can flip him immediately with only one drug. So this is your first example of, with the right team, how Spite, Agent of Gloom, can be much, much more manageable. And the thing is, as long as you have enough victims in the safe house, like in this case you'd want 3, you can actually leave him on his front side if you so choose. So that's probably the one that I'd most compare this to. And this one you had Dark Visionary for, so that kind of tells you how effective she is when you're dealing with Spite. But yeah, so that's one more, and we'll see what next week holds. Anyway, I'm the Hero of Light, thanks for watching, and goodbye.